So the other day I was talking with some guys that I know, right? And we started talking about The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, that thing. Zelda is a franchise that I hold very near and dear to my heart. I love The Legend of Zelda. Everything about it. Link, Zelda, the Triforce Ganon, Ganondorf, the Kokiri, the Master Sword, yada, 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 yada. And then I started thinking, what are my favorite Zeldas? Like my top three favorite Zeldas. And I asked, the people I was talking to, like, what's your top three favorite Zeldas? Let's just say what was supposed to be a 10, maybe 20-minute discussion ended up being, yeah, that took a long time. So it made me start really thinking, what is my top three favorite Zelda games? It's not easy. Do you know how many Zelda games there are? Honestly, I've narrowed it down to three Zelda games that I love, and everybody's opinion is different. Yours is going to be different than mine, and vice versa. However, these are just the games I really, really enjoy. They're the ones I find myself going back to. And don't worry, none of them are the CDI games. Don't worry. Is there anybody who actually likes those games? If you do, put that in the comments. Let me know. Like, does anybody like the CDI games? Honestly, but anyway, yeah. Here are my top three favorite Legend of Zelda games. Number three, The Legend of Zelda. What can be said about this that hasn't been said already? I mean, let's be realistic here. The Legend of Zelda is the one that started it all. It's amazing. It's a fun game. Like literally, it's insanely ambitious considering what the technology was back then and how many limitations that Nintendo had. It's a really great game. I find myself going back to it quite often. It's a very, very fun game. Like the White Sword, the Master Sword, the potions. It's the red and the blue one. The Triforce being split up into 8 pieces. Now this was back when there was only two Triforces. There was the Triforce of Power, and the Triforce of Wisdom. Courage hadn't really been established yet, at least not that I know of. And you had like the rings, the blue ring, the red ring, and Ganon got killed with the silver arrow, and it's just a fun game, plain and simple. You know what I mean? I mean, there's some people that even are able to get through the damn thing without a sword until they get to Ganon's castle, and that's insane. Then of course everybody knows a little secret, how to get the second quest right away. You just when you start a game and you name your profile, you name it Zelda, and you instantly get access to the second quest. So yeah, The Legend of Zelda, fantastic game. Easily my number three favorite. Number two, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Or is it Ocarina? I guess it depends where you're from. This was hard because I really, really had to wrestle with my favorite because the top two spots, my number one and number two, are just they're so close to each other. Do not think that they're separated. No, no, no. Like number one doesn't win by a landslide. They're very close. But yeah, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is literally, what can I say about this? It hasn't been said either. Amazing, groundbreaking, very revolutionary for its time. Set a lot of tropes that we now associate with Zelda to this day. Excuse me. Easily one of the pioneers of the 3D, I guess, adventure type platformer games. Because back when it came out, there weren't that many. I mean, you did have Super Mario 64, but I really always say those two really kind of helped steer that, video gaming in that direction in the sense of, the whole 3D thing, because Mario 64 is amazing too, but we're sticking to Zelda here. But yeah, this thing is great. The time traveling, the music is fantastic. The castles are really cool. The dungeons, I'm sorry. The dungeons are really cool. Even that water one that we all seem to love. Ugh. I mean, hell, we even got Dark Link in Ocarina of Time. And then being on a horse, Epona. And just, dude, the battle with Ganon at the end is fucking amazing, dude. It's cool. The music is really cool. Like, everything. It's such a fucking amazing game, dude. If you haven't played this one, really, like, what are you doing? Go play it now. Like, stop watching me and go play The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Fantastic game. Number one, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Man, is this game amazing. If Ocarina of Time set a lot of, like tropes and a lot of things that people that love the Zelda universe and franchise, or things that Nintendo themselves continue to this day, uh, A Link to the Past did it first. Like I mean, you got to realize, you got to take yourself back when that game came out. Zelda 1 and Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, were the only ones out, and they were epic in their own right. You didn't think it was possible for it to grow more than that. And it didn't just grow by a small margin. It was like leaps and bounds. Like, the story was expanded upon tremendously. Link handles in such a smooth way. The combat is amazing. Dude, the light and dark world. I mean, you can make the argument Ocarina of Time kind of borrowed from it, but instead of light and dark world, it's, the past and the future. Kakariko Village, I hope I said that right. And the music, like Kakariko Village, that song is so iconic, and it started here, if I remember correctly. Dude, when you beat the game at the end and the credits are rolling, that is still to this day my favorite rendition of the Zelda theme. It is amazing. Like, I highly recommend that one. It's such a fun fucking game. It really fucking is. The Pegasus boots. Oh, and also on top of it, it was the first one that gave us the Master Sword, if I remember correct. No, 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 no. The first one did, but the one where where you actually pull the Master Sword out of the thing or whatever in the ground. I think it was the first one that did that, if I remember correctly. And then, like, think about it. You had to get the three medallions, which later in Ocarina of Time, it's the three spiritual stones. You kind of see the parallels here. You know what I mean? And it's just amazing. Plain and simple, it's such an amazing game, full of secrets, full of fun, full of lore, and just everything about it, man. Like, I can't find a single thing wrong with it. But yeah, that is my number one favorite Zelda game of all time. So I want to thank you guys for tuning into this, whatever you call this thing. It's not really a countdown, or is it? Whatever. Basically, my favorite Zelda games to date. Don't think I don't acknowledge the other ones, like Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Oracle of Ages and Seasons. The Minish Cap is incredible. Even Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. I don't mind that one either. Majora's Mask. There's tons of them. Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, etc., etc., etc. And even those CDI ones. Please do not think I'm not including them. It's just these, or that I don't give them their place. Of course I do. And they are incredible games. They're masterpieces, all three of them. As well as some of the other ones, man. But if you haven't played any of these, do yourself a favor and check them out. Not only are they a great time, and just the graphics, the music, everything is amazing, you're going to have a blast. Trust me. You're going to have a really good time with these. Okay? As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.